You're watching East Tennessee weather. Weather when you want it.
Good morning. It's Friday Eve, my friends. Friday Eve, Thursday, July 25th. And yes, we're still dealing with rain this morning. So let's go ahead and get to work right now this morning with a live look at the radar here. And you can see where the heaviest showers are falling right now. Basically, south of Interstate 40 is going to contend with a little bit more rain this morning, but a lot of this will begin to fade as we head through the day today. So Madisonville, Tellico Plains, Monroe County down into Polk County, moving its way towards Blount County. So Blount County, you're going to be next in line. We're seeing a good old solid batch of some heavier showers moving on into your area. Across the northwestern sections of town, not nearly as much rain, so that's good news. We're dried out a little bit. Northeastern sections, not nearly as much rain. Now we do have some scattered light rain showers from Greenville through Telford, Johnson City, Unicoi, and Irwin, down into over into North Carolina. And that's about the extent of it there. And then the mountain counties, where we have still some lingering showers. Again, those showers moving back into Blount County. So Sevier County, got a couple of light rain showers, some drizzle and mist, and that's about the extent of it. How about Knox County? If you're traveling Interstate 40 and you traveled yesterday, we had a flash flood warning that was taking shape yesterday afternoon. We saw over 2 inches of rainfall fall in a short amount of time right along and north of Interstate 40. We'll highlight that coming up here in just a few minutes. So with that said, let's chat about July observed high temperatures. Like I mentioned over the last few days, it's been extremely warm start to the month, but then we've been trending average to below average. Look at those below average temperatures. We've actually had 3 days, 84 on the 18th, 23rd. We were at 82 yesterday. We were at 84 degrees. So definitely staying on the cooler side, even though the humidity is definitely with us. Even places like Crossville. Crossville was only 76 yesterday. That's not bad. July 24th, 76 degrees. 87 in Chattanooga, 83 in Tri-Cities. Now, Tri-Cities and Crossville picked up the most rain, anywhere from nearly a half an inch to over a half an inch of rainfall. So when you look at your rainfall accumulations over the last 24 hours, we saw some better coverage of rainfall. And the bullseye, again, happened to be right there and around Knox County. Places like Farragut, Karnes, downtown Knoxville picked up nearly 2 to 2.5 inches of rainfall, and that's why we had that flash flood warning that was in effect throughout the day yesterday afternoon. But places like Townsend, only 2.8 of an inch of rain, so it didn't pick up nearly as much. So here's your future cast for the day today to get you out on the roads. If you do have to hit the roads this morning, again, you're going to have to contend with some rain showers. Those moderate showers that we're seeing this morning will slowly fade as we get into the lunch hour, and then we'll see a few more fire back up later on this afternoon. But the general gist of the rain today, if you live north of Interstate 40, you're likely to stay on the drier side as we get through or into the lunch hour and into the afternoon and early evening hours. And I think as we get into sundown tonight, a lot of that a lot of the rainfall will slowly come to an end. Good morning, Katrina, Cheryl, Aaron. We've got Rick on here along with Julie. Glad you could join us this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Again, through the evening hours, heaviest rain, which is falling out there right now, will be across the mountain counties and the Southern Valley. So temperature-wise, how do we compare to what we were yesterday with a high of only 82 yesterday? Today, well, we'll be just a little bit warmer, a couple of degrees, but still trending below average. We're going to be in the low to mid 80s, but because the humidity is still on the high side, well, that's going to lead to heat index values pushing the low 90s. And so, yeah, it's still going to have that warm, muggy feel. And you know what? To be honest with you, you step outside this morning, you're like, all right, yeah, it definitely feels like a July summer morning because the humidity is up there. Even though it's comfortable, if you're a runner jogger, the sweat factor goes way up. All right, 81 by 6, feeling more like 86. Then we drop into the 70s, so we get rid of the heat index values. 8 to 10 o'clock here tonight. We'll be in the mid to upper 70s. So it should be a nice evening for a nice little stroll or an after-dinner walk. Love after-dinner walks. We don't do them as much as we'd like to, but I do like those for sure. Upper 60s to low 70s to get our Friday started. I'm going to take you through your Friday forecast because it's almost Friday. Here's the deal with Friday, though. We're going to see a little bit of a pattern change. Frontal boundary moves through today, tonight, and that's going to bring us some drier air in the low to mid levels of the atmosphere. Not at the surface, dew points stay on the high side, but the low to mid levels, and so therefore our precipitate water. I've been talking about that a little bit more this week. Veil moisture in the atmosphere to actually lead to solid tropical-like downpours. We saw that yesterday during the afternoon, early evening hours. So we lose a lot of that moisture source. So I don't think that we're going to see a ton of rain throughout the day on Friday. scattered some light to maybe a couple of pockets of moderate showers, but I think the coverage goes way down Friday. So if you have dinner plans Friday night, it should be a nice evening. I'm anticipating some drier conditions tomorrow evening. So again, we're not going to really add up to a whole lot more rain throughout the day tomorrow. Temperatures will stay in the 80s. Heat index value is still going to be pushing the upper 80s to near 90. So we're still going to have the mugginess in place, although I do think those dew points come down just a little bit. The general setup is a trough to our west, ridge across the Atlantic Oceans that still kind of stretches into the southeastern U.S., so our upper level storm track system pushes everything a little bit further to the south. So we'll have better coverage of rainfall from, say, Houston, Texas, all the way to the Outer Banks of North Carolina versus what we will have here as well. All right, so here's your big story future cast. You can see a cold front swinging through the area. Again, we're going to start to see a little bit of a pattern change too, because a ridge starts to build in, a mid-level ridge anyways. And so as we get into our Saturday and Sunday, versus seeing the rain showers come from the southwest moving to the northeast, we're going to actually start to see that shift from the northwest moving to the southeast, right? Around a ridge of high pressure. So high pressure, you get clockwise rotation. And so as that builds in, we'll get the winds to shift to the northwest. So rain chances really take a nosedive Friday and Saturday. Thank goodness for that. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of the clouds. I'm tired of the rain. I'm trying to get some work done around the house, which I'll talk about Witcher's Adventures coming up here in just a few minutes. But rain chances do ramp up as we get into the start of next week. So this really tells the story. So through Saturday, not a huge chance or a threat or opportunity, whichever way you want to look at it, depending on how much rainfall you've seen so far this week and versus some of you not seeing a whole lot. But we're not going to see a whole lot all the way through Saturday. Then Sunday, Monday, we'll start to ramp those rain chances back up. It's going to start to pile up around the area. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, we'll likely see more rain opportunities, I suppose, pile back up. So this is really going to probably help to wipe out the drought. The new U.S. Drought Monitor comes out at 8 o'clock here this morning. So I'll be posting that to social media. I would likely think that we'll see some improvements. But again, they shut down whatever we saw on Tuesday and Wednesday. They shut that down. So that will be on next week's drought monitor. As I mentioned, the dew points take a little bit of a dip Friday, Saturday, so not really going to feel a huge difference there. But what really the idea is that's going to help to shut down the rain because we're going to see some mid-level drying. Temperatures will start to climb closer to those seasonal averages into the weekend. So it's going to be really, I think Saturday is going to be the best day. So if you're planning any outdoor activities, which by the way, if there are any events going on this upcoming weekend that you'd like to highlight, throw them on the chat here this morning. We'll talk about that coming up in just a bit. All right, heat index values. The lower heat index will come through tomorrow at only 87. So that's pretty nice. So not much of a heat index value on Friday. And then those heat index values start to climb back into the 90s. So again, if you work outside, we're still talking elevated rain chances next week, but elevated humidity, which leads to the heat index values climbing just a little bit more. And I think that's going to be the story for the first week of August. The ridge of high pressure starts to build its way back in, and that's going to help to warm our temperatures up just a bit as well. So make sure you track in the rain. And again, I can't stress this enough. If you don't have your GPS locations turned on with the East Tennessee Weather app on your cell phones, you're not going to receive a lot of the alerts. I've relayed a lot of messages recently through social media and through emails and trying to walk people through the process saying, hey, how come I'm not getting any of the notifications from lightning data to flash flood warning that you would need to know about. Life-saving watches and warnings from the National Weather Service get issued right there through the cell phone and the East Tennessee Weather app. And so if you don't have your GPS location turned on, you're not going to get lightning data. You're not going to get the watches and warnings. So something to keep in mind. Always better to be safe than sorry. I've talked to a lot of folks in East Tennessee as well saying that, hey, listen, I don't like those notifications turned on. And I try not to bombard you with notifications. I shoot out maybe one a day that I will send out myself. But other than that, the notifications would be coming from lightning data, storms approaching, National Weather Service, watches and warnings. So it's always a good thing to make sure you have that turned on. So if you've not received any alerts recently, maybe a good idea to go back into your cell phone and make sure that your current location is turned on, that your GPS location is turned on, because that's going to help you out as well if you have any sort of travel plans. If you travel for your job, whether it be locally, regionally, or across the country, or you're just going on vacation as well. All right, let's say hi to everybody. How's everyone doing this morning? We got Tom joining us this morning as well. Chris is on here. Let's see, Aaron's on here. Debbie, good morning, Debbie. Debbie's joining us this morning. I love how everyone just says good morning to each other. It's always nice. Do you read through all the comments? Do you see them coming through? Do you like seeing the comments coming through? Hopefully so. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Aaron says, hey, happy Friday Eve, Mike. Yeah, and everyone. It's got a nice little ring to it, doesn't it? I'll tell you a little bit about my Witcher's adventures. I always like to keep you up to date on things that I'm doing. So I am building some built-in mudroom cubbies for our bonus room. Trying to get them done before the kids go back to school, which is like in less than 2 weeks now. And so trying to do something. Listen, I'm good at construction. I can do construction. I've renovated a whole house before. I've renovated our bonus room. I've renovated bathrooms and whatnot. So I can do construction. But when you're talking about fine-tuned craftsmanship, woodworking craftsmanship, it's a lot tougher. And doing built-ins, if you want to make them look good, it takes a little bit more. So I'm in the process of doing that right now. And I'll keep you posted on how that all goes out. I've got 1 of 4 shelves, generally speaking, up. And so I got to work on the other 3 today. And then, then you have to get all the trim work up, and then you have to paint it again to kind of cover up all the holes and whatnot. But it's coming together well. So I'll keep you posted on how this all shapes up over the next few days. Anyways, I think that's about all I've had. We didn't do much. I played some good, solid games with the kids. We've been playing. Well, one of the kids is grounded from a Switch, but we can play family games. And so we've been playing golf, badminton, basketball, using like the Wii, the Switch. I mean, not the Wii, the Switch. So that's been a lot of fun. The kids were just hanging out and did a lot of that. Let's see what else. Guess that's about it. Anybody have any recommendations? So I don't have gutters. So the studio got built in my backyard. And any construction workers out there, anybody that knows any landscaping, let me know. So the studio was built, right? But it doesn't have gutters on it. But it is attached to the house. Anyways, it's right next to our carport. And when it rains, because I don't have gutters on there, the rain just spills off. And around the building, I still have quite a bit of like dirt and, well, now mud. But dirt because I need to get some landscaping done around it. But one of the things we were talking about is now that this is built and we don't have gutters, the rain is falling into the dirt, and then it creates mud, and the mud now starts to flow into our carport. So we're trying to figure that out. I was looking at some pea gravel, maybe laying down some pea gravel would look better, and I think the pea gravel would probably suffice. Although I think gutters would make it better. I just don't have gutters on the building. So, anyways. That's all I've got. Any recommendations on how to mitigate a little bit of that water drainage around? And listen, it does have French drains around the building itself. So I think if I can get the gravel in there to help mitigate the runoff quite so fast, it would soak down, go into the French drains and around the building. But anyways, any recommendations would be good. Good morning, my wet friend, says Kathy. What's up, Kathy? How are you this morning? Got Kat joining us this morning. Good morning, Kat. How are you this morning? Tom's joining us from Cape Cod. Tom, I showed you a picture yesterday. Nice little whale watching. Did you actually see any whales? Cape Cod's amazing. Have you been eating lobster rolls, lazy lobster, poor man's lobster? Any good seafood? Clam chowder? Cape Cod's amazing. Love Cape Cod. How's the camper holding up? Everybody good? How are the campgrounds up there? Typical? Probably. Good morning, Michelle. How are you? What's up, Nathan? How are you this morning? Hey, Nathan, quick question. I was going to text you yesterday. If you're on the chat and you can answer, cool. But did you guys buy season passes this year for skiing? We have not bought ours yet. But I was thinking about skiing the other day, and I was like, okay, I really want to get up to the mountains and do a little bit more skiing than I got done last year. And I know it's summertime still, but listen, fall and winter season are not far away. I feel like we just got done with that, the big old Arctic outbreak and the big snowstorm of the year, of the season, of the century, of the decade anyways. So it's kind of weird to think about winter time, but it's going to be here before we know it. Katrina's getting in the car listening to us. Hey, Katrina, drive safely to work. When am I coming on a pontoon ride? I don't know. When are we coming? Did you get your hat, by the way, Katrina? Did you get your hat? And does it fit? Thanks to Kimberly, who got the hat over at the Granger County Tomato Festival. So did you get it? Hopefully, do you like it? Susan says gutters first. Get the gutters first. Yeah, it's probably a better idea to get the gutters first, I would suppose. Ooh, Deadpool's coming out this weekend. Yeah, somebody asked me that the other day. What was it? Samuel, the guy over at the Regal Cinemas at Cinebar and at the mall, was like, we were sitting there talking, and I took a picture. I showed you that the other day. Anyways, and he was like, hey, yeah, you guys going to go see Deadpool? And I was like, well, the kids aren't. I mean, like the first scene of like the first Deadpool is like, that's intense and a lot of cussing. I'll probably go see it. I am doing well. Thank you very much, Kat. I appreciate that. You did see a couple of whales. Nice. Getting lobster rolls today. What's the price of a lobster roll at Cape Cod these days? I remember back in the day growing up, they were like $9-10. I think they're like up to like $30, $35 for a lobster roll now. Crazy. But I do love me a good lobster roll. And my anniversary is coming up on August 3rd. And the wife and I always either do lobster rolls, and or crab. So I got to figure out what we're going to do this year. And my wife's birthday is coming up. I think it's Saturday. I think it's Saturday, and she works her birthday. Yeah, it's Sunday. My wife's birthday is Sunday. She works on her birthday, so we're trying to figure out something to do. And trying to figure out something to do with her for our anniversary, too. She was wanting a little bit of an escape, a getaway. So any recommendations, suggestions on what we could do for like maybe a night away for our anniversary? Throw it in the chat. Love to find out what you would think that we should do. Now, for our anniversary, we always do crab legs or lobster, and typically we've always stayed in. We don't usually go do a lot of things, so we'll see. But if you have any suggestions or recommendations for a nice little one-night getaway, let me know. And then anybody want to be a babysitter for the kids? That'd be great because we don't have family in town. Just ship my kids over to your house. It's like, let the Witchers go ahead and enjoy their anniversary. I kid. Although Kimberly, I mean, I feel like I could just rely on you. And probably all of you, really, to be honest with you. Yes, you do, my friend. Come on, Buck. Come on. As I mentioned yesterday, working on hoodies, working on some orange shirts for UT football season. Still working on the design, so I got to reach out to them. I haven't heard back from the company to see how the design's coming along. I'm not getting an email or anything like that, so we're going to work on that today, along with the construction. Got to do some construction, so I'll get to work this morning. You know what's funny is yesterday I had to pull out the paint, the paint sprayer yesterday, because I would have had these built-ins done prior to now, but I was painting in the fall season, and then it got cold, and I can only paint outside, and you can't paint outside if it's colder than 58 degrees or something like that. So I had to pull out the paint sprayer and spray everything down. And I did it in the grass. Surprised my wife didn't say anything to me because the grass got painted. Because I didn't want to put up a spray room to mitigate the overspray and whatever. So I did it over the grass, and now my grass is like spray painted. I did cracked pepper, by the way. If you've never seen cracked pepper, it's a really cool, kind of a brownish, grayish, blackish color. It's really cool. So that's what I did. Let's see if I can show you. I don't know if I have. I don't have it up right now. But anyways, that's why I did the built-ins color. Well, I did a dark stained wood, and then I did like this black pepper look for the vertical slats and stuff. So my story to the point of the story is I was watching the radar going, okay, I got a couple sprinkles, had to pull everything in. Looked at the radar, said, okay, these will be out here in just a second. And then I had it painted. It has to sit for like an hour before you can spray a second coat. Went inside, set my timer, decided to look at the radar, and everything was just like right along Interstate 40, which is really close to my house. And I was like, oh boy, here it comes. And I just finished spraying. My timer was getting ready to go up, so I was like, I got to hurry up and clean up all this paint stuff because the paint sprayers, you got to clean up and make sure all the paint's out of it. Otherwise, you're going to ruin your sprayer and your hose, right? And so literally got everything underneath the carport before all of a sudden just big old deluge of rain. And I was like, okay, there it is. Glad I got all that done. That's what I did. But Buck, we need to get you some, $35 to $45 for a lobster roll now. That's insane. That's like a nice night out for dinner type of price. You go a family of two, that's, what you're looking at, $70, $80, $90 for just 2 lobster rolls. That's insane. Dave and Buster's. We don't have a Dave and Buster's here, do we? Julie's going to babysit. I knew I could count on you. All right, but where am I going? Greenbrier Inn. Okay, that's a good suggestion. Ooh, I've never done that before. If you steam your lobster rolls, lobster tails. Well, I always do the live Maine lobsters. I buy those in town, live Maine lobsters, put them in, but I've never added champagne to the water. Interesting. What does that do? Does it just give it a little bit more of a succulent taste or flavor? I'll have to try that. I'm good, but thank you. It's summer season up there. Maybe another place. What's your next suggestion, Kimberly? Well, if I was still flying, that would probably be something that we would do, is fly down to the beach, because we could be down there in like 2.5 hours, but not still on the flying. And I'm not going to drive, 17 hours to the beach unless we're taking the kids. Take a couple spa day. We've done that we've done that in years past up at Hot Springs, North Carolina. We did the hot springs, we did a spa, we did the hot springs, and we did an overnight up there, which is really cool to do. Yes, agreed with you, Buck. And I think the gutters on my house are not the wider ones. Let's see. Joe, why don't you fly us down to the beach for a night and then come back and pick us up? How about that? She would love that. I mean, she does. I don't think she's like, that's not her first thing, is to hop in a small airplane. But she's done it, and she would do it again. So we have a Dave and Buster's in Pigeon Forge. I did not know that. I did not know we had a Dave and Buster's there. Interesting. But there's probably a lot of stuff in Pigeon Forge I don't really know that's there. I've never been to. Oh, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. The island. I've never been to the island. I mean, any lobster, you got to drench it in butter. Unless you're doing a lobster roll, then mayonnaise, light mayonnaise. Light mayonnaise. Don't like it necessarily with butter if you're doing a lobster roll. You could check out into renting the castle for a night or two. It's right next to Imes. I didn't know that. That's a good place. Champagne adds a little pizzazz, slight sweetness. So good. Oh, thanks. Go River Rampage, spa, take her to dinner, and get a room. You get a room. Thanks, Cynthia. It's not until August 3rd. Not until August 3rd, but I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, you never got your IFR, did you, Joe? I don't think you did. There's a bread and breakfast in Kingston. I can't remember the name of it, but it's really nice. Nice. Katrina says, let's dance, Mike. Is that what you say? Okay. Shall we? Katrina's like, I got to get into work. Get your dance on, my friends. We've got a lot more holidays than we've had over the last couple of days. So let's take a look at your national holidays for the day today. It's National Wine and Cheese Day. You know who I know who's going to celebrate on this one. Aaron, I'm looking at you. She had champagne to her lobster water, okay? Aaron, this night's for you. Go grab the girls and take the girls out. National Wine and Cheese Day today. It's also National Hire a Veteran Day. Great thing, right? Veterans need jobs. Hire a National Veteran Day. National Refreshment Day. It's got beers on there. Let's see what it says. It's got a flight of beer. So National Refreshment Day is the 4th of July, Thursday in July. Celebrates fun at the hottest time of the year. Well, we're actually just slightly past, climatologically speaking, the hottest time of the year. The beverage holiday toasts those moments of ice-cold refreshments, especially a nice cold beer. Enjoy simple pleasures and create memories to love and cherish. Hashtag National Refreshment Day. Sweet tea, maybe an Arnold Palmer, maybe some fresh lemonade, cold beverage of your choice. It's National Hot Fudge Sundae Day. I'm going to say nope, not for me. I don't do hot fudge at all. Gross. It's National Merry-Go-Round Day. Anybody like those merry-go-rounds? They're okay. Not bad. I like the architecture of merry-go-rounds and like the colors and really like what they they're all different. Those are cool, but to go on and get merry-go-round, yeah, they're good for kids. It's National Thread the Needle Day. Okay. I've got to thread a needle onto one of my suit jacket buttons. It popped. Okay, I've gained a few lbs, but not that much, okay? Thanks a lot, button. National Intern Day. Whew, let me tell you about my internship. When I was in college, it was my senior year. I was interning at a TV station for the morning show, which started at like 4 in the morning. 5 in the morning, maybe. I don't know. I forget. It was like a 4 or 5 hour morning show on the WB. So it was Channel 2 in Denver. Anyways, I was in college. I lived about 45 minutes to an hour away. North of Denver is where I went to college in Greeley, Colorado at the, well, I was going to say, I have NWA stuck in my head, and I don't know why. Not the band. The conference I'm going to coming up here in a few weeks. I guess about a month or so. But UNC. That's what I was trying to think of. UNC. Where did I go to college? How many years ago was this? My goodness, Witcher. Get it together this morning. UNC, University of No Credit in Greeley. Anyways, and so I was an intern in Colorado. So my friends would always come home from being out and partying. And they'd wake me up because I'd have to go to bed at like 4 in the afternoon so I could get up at like midnight so I could drive a while. I got up at like 2 in the morning. See, I've been getting up at 2 for way too long, doing morning television way too long. I was doing morning television in college. Now, I wasn't on TV, but I was an intern fetching scripts and coffee and helping guests on this big, giant, awesome morning show. So that was a lot of fun, but didn't get paid for that. Didn't get paid. There were so many times because of that drive and because of the hours and because I was in college and I was still holding down 3 jobs. That was technically my 4th job. So I, in my senior year in college, let's see, I worked at an underwear store. Why do I tell you these things? I worked at an underwear store. I worked at Jockey Underwear actually in college at the outlet mall. Okay. So I sold underwear. I was going to talk about this yesterday when we were talking about drive-thrus, but I worked at a drive-thru liquor store. And I also worked at a grocery store called Toddy's. It would be kind of similar to, like maybe the Fresh Market here in town. A little bit of a higher-end grocery store, if you will. And I made all of their salads for the deli, like pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds of like potato salads and pasta salads and stuff like that. So I worked there early in the morning, and then I would go to the underwear store, Jockey, and drive, 30 minutes to go to that because it was a little bit further away in Loveland, Colorado, and I lived in Greeley. And then I'd go from there and work at the drive-through liquor store at nighttime. Those were my 3 jobs. Now, of course, I went to school in between, and I dropped when college started. That was in the summertime, I guess. But when college started, I dropped the grocery store one, but still worked at intern, still worked at the underwear store, and still worked at the drive-through liquor store for like 2 or 3 years. So there we go. I don't know. I just got digressed. I digress, I should say. I'm getting on these tangents here. And it's National Chili Dog Day, which I'm totally down for. I love chili dogs. I love chili dogs are great. And so maybe the Witchers will make some chili dogs for dinner tonight. That sounds pretty good. Good old classic. Anyways, those are your national holidays this morning. Mel, I sure hope you have a great day. Ooh, there you go, Aaron. Espresso cheese is so good, isn't it? Espresso cheese is amazing. Good morning, Pat. How are you? A little late to the party, but no big deal. Beer thirsty all day long. Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere there, Chris. Katrina says, woo, woo, wine. Cynthia can't. Take her horseback riding, have a picnic, and don't forget the flowers, Mike. Well, we're not flowers and cards kind of people. Sorry. I'm not a card person. Don't ever buy me a card, please. I don't know what it is about cards, but I don't like cards. The more you know about me. I probably tell you too much stuff sometimes. I definitely tell you too much stuff sometimes. But I don't like cards. Why? Because you open it up, you read it, and it goes in the trash can. What a waste of resources. Now, again, I'm not like some resource nut here. I do partake in life itself, and we just kind of live in where we live. But I don't like cards and flowers, same thing. Yeah, these flowers are nice. They last a few days and they die. I feel like that's just cards and flowers are a waste of resources and money. Just my 2 cents. Now, do I get her flowers every once in a while? Yes, I do, because everybody likes to get flowers every once in a while. But other than that, no. You like merry-go-rounds? What is there to like about merry-go-round? Now, I like them when you see the kids light up and they have a fun, good smile on their face, sure. But not so much. Great affordable water park in Williamsburg, Kentucky. Your kids would love it. $15 admission and affordable food and drinks. Nice. I've heard it's good. Let's see. There you go, Chris. Yeah, right. Was I ever in a fraternity? Absolutely, positively not. No way, Jose. Nothing against them. Not my style. My buddy tried to get me in a fraternity in our sophomore year in college and said, I'm going to join a fraternity. I said, go right ahead. I don't feel like I need to pay for my friends. I can make friends very easily. That's kind of how I looked at it. Now, did I go to fraternity parties? Maybe. But no, I did not join a fraternity. Was not, I just, not my style, really. You can stay at the new place in Huntsville that Sandra has a connection to while at the NWA. NWA is actually going to be in Texas, not in Huntsville. Hey, Sharon, how are you this morning? She's joining us from Kentucky Mountain this morning. Glad you could join us. I mean, okay, now you're talking. I'm okay with that. Although, well, yeah, Saturday's not going to be as rainy. So maybe you're out of options. That's all you have? That's all you have? Love hot fudge and chili dogs. Well, Cheryl, I just made your day because you get to now go eat hot fudge and chili dogs tonight. And then we'll have to, walk it all off. Hey, West Virginia style hot dogs are your favorite. What's a West Virginia style hot dog? Please let us know what that is. My mom was talking about the other day because of something. I forget what it was. But if you ever go to New England, and Tom, you're in New England right now, you probably know this. But New England has actually red hot dogs. Have you heard of these? Red hot dogs. I don't know how they're different besides the casing that's red, but red hot dogs are good. I haven't had one for years, but a New England hot dog is red. Right? You head to the USS Constitution and the Patriots walk in Boston. and go to Faneuil Hall and go check out the stadium. Out Boston's so cool. Boston's like one of my favorites for sure. Wine is fine, but liquor's quicker. Tell us more about you. I can't divulge it all in one day. You just got to tune in every day. I try to let you know what I'm doing, i.e. the Witcher's adventures. By the way, we haven't taken you outside yet. That's live look in downtown Gatlinburg here at this hour. We'll show you what. So we'll get a little bit of fog out there. We've got some rain showers, so it's a soggy start to the day in downtown Gatlinburg, Union County. Not as much rain, but overcast and gray. And the East Tennessee weather camera is overcast, gray, dreary, and damp with some light rain. Again, if you look at the rainfall around the area, we still have some steadier showers moving from Edgemore to Claxton, Clinton to High School, Bowling Springs. Expand the view up into southern Union County. So Maynardville, where the camera is, not necessarily a ton of rain. More rain banked up against the mountain counties. If you travel Pellissippi Parkway, if you travel Interstate 75 south of town, you're going to run into rain, and the heaviest showers are now into Monroe, Polk counties, but not a ton of rain up across the Tennessee-Kentucky border. We're dry from Sunbright to Fentress County, Scott, and the Campbell. Claiborne, also Hawkins, Hancock, and most of Hamlin County is dry, but likely not to stay that way, although I do think that a lot of this rain will stay banked up against the mountains of East Tennessee and into North Carolina. Let's see. Kimberly says, write her a poem. I'm not much of a writer. Handwrite her a love letter. That's a good idea. Movie and a picnic. All right, not bad. Some Great Lobster place near the garden has a huge lobster that's old in the front window. What's the name? I have no idea. I have no idea. Ooh, Krista sent in her tomato pie recipe. By the way, I've not posted on social yet, but I am doing a tomato pie recipe contest. If you've not heard of this yet, email me your favorite tomato pie recipe, mike@easttnweather.com. I'm creating a list here, and we're going to go through it, and I'll post it to social media. And if you win and I choose your recipe, you will win a free East Tennessee Weather shirt. I'm too picky. I am not picky at all. Not at all. Write her a song. I am definitely not a singer. I used to be in choir, and now not so much. All right, so West Virginia hot dogs, chili dog sauce, coleslaw, mustard, and onion. That doesn't sound bad. I don't know about the coleslaw, but get a babysitter and stay home and have a romantic dinner. Well, yeah, but where am I going to put my kids? Are they going to stay at the babysitter's house? I suppose, sir. Suppose so. For her birthday, take her to Pigeon Forge and make a knife next to the old mill. All right. No, Chris. No, it was not modeling. It was jockey underwear. Funny story. I know this is gonna be weird, but a funny story. When I was there, this would have been 1990. What was this? 97 through 2000 is when I had that job. Jockey Underwear had actually discontinued the female thong, but kept the male thong. All right, the more you know, I'll leave you with those thoughts here for the rest of the day today. Well, ain't nobody want those thoughts in their head. I apologize. Again, you say it on here, that just comes out of my mouth. It's 7:40 right now, by the way. The morning is cruising right along. I don't have any photos to share with you this morning. I don't. But if you've missed some of them from the last couple of days, I will be able to highlight those for you because we have had some great photos through Witcher's Pictures. I did have a new one, actually, from Kimberly. I'll show you that here for just a second. Kimberly sent this one in. This is her family from the Granger County Tomato Festival coming home. And she says, Tomato Fest, my niece Heather, Mila, and myself. Love the look there. Love the look. Had a cool sunset last night, or some, a little bit of crepuscular rays. This was sent in by Jennifer Westbrooks. So we've had some pretty good photos. But I will I'll share some photos with you coming up here as we kind of wrap things up here this morning. You know, the music's playing, so we're kind of wrapping things up and letting you know that, listen, just some steadier, lighter showers here this morning. That should be about the extent of it for the most part. We are going to see those rain showers slowly subside a little bit. And as we do so, we'll start to dry out just a bit. But remember, the rain ramps up back up as we get into next week. And it is definitely going to be on the soggier side next week as well. So we went from a very hot, dry weather pattern to a very soggy weather pattern. We sure hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Be kind to each other. We know life is short. Here are some photos from your eyes. Then I'll send you back to the 24-hour weather channel. We'll see you back here for Wake Up with Witcher tomorrow morning. Don't forget to subscribe to YouTube, like, share everything you see on social media. Have a great day, my friends.
You're watching East Tennessee weather. Weather when you want it.
Good morning. Have a great Thursday. It's another soggy start to the day. We do have some scattered light to moderate, even pockets of heavier downpours hanging out with us early this morning, but they're going to slowly fade away through the afternoon. The mountain counties and south of Interstate 40 will get the majority of the rain. We'll highlight that with your future cast. That's coming up here in just a moment. Let's talk about your June observed high temperatures for the month so far. Obviously, we've been talking about an extremely hot start to the month of July. Then it's been trending average or below average. And yesterday we made it to 84 degrees, so well below average over the last couple of days. Even only 76 in Cumberland County. What a beautiful day that was, right? With nearly half an inch of rainfall, 6,500s in Tri-Cities. And you only made it to 83 degrees. So when you look at the rainfall from the last 24 hours, you can really see that southwesterly fetch moving to the northeast, and that's where we saw the bullseye of some heavier showers in and around, just around, say, Paint Rock near Spring City and whatnot. But the bullseye where we did have a flash flood warning for a time being was across parts of Knox County along Interstate 40, where places like Farragut, Carnes, and downtown Knoxville picked up nearly 2 to 2.5 inches of rainfall. So the boundaries shifting its way a little bit further to the east. So I think the mountain counties will likely have the best chance for some showers and thunderstorms along and south of Interstate 40 as well. So I think if you live north of Interstate 40, you're likely to stay a little bit on the drier side throughout the day today. So something to kind of keep in mind. Rainfall accumulations, highest amounts will be across the mountain counties, so maybe a little bit higher amounts across the Southern Valley, but you can see the plateau and the Tennessee-Kentucky border is not looking likely to see as much rainfall. By lunchtime, we'll be right around 77 degrees. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. They'll start to fade. Forecast highs will top out in the mid-80s, so a couple of degrees warmer than what we were yesterday, and that should be about the extent of it. But heat index values, though, still going to be pushing the low 90s. And so, yes, we still have the mugginess with us, and that makes it feel just a little bit hotter, but not bad. By 8 o'clock tonight, we're at 77. 10 o'clock, we're at 74, and 6 o'clock, 81, but feeling like 86. Overnight lows tonight. So let's talk about our Friday forecast. Why? Because, well, it's almost Friday. Here's the good news. We're not looking at a ton of rain Friday and Saturday as everything kind of shifts off to our south and southeast. We start to lose those energy pieces moving on through the area. But with that said, We remember the last couple of days, our rain showers have been coming in from the south and southwest. As we get into our Friday, Saturday time frame, it's going to be shifting and we'll get more of a northwesterly flow pattern, but that's also bringing in some very dry air, at least in the low to mid levels. And so that's why I just don't think that we're going to have a whole lot of rain. And what rain we do see will likely not be the gully washers that we've been seeing, because we'll shut down the available moisture in the atmosphere. So Friday afternoon, so today and tomorrow, we're still likely to pick up a little bit more. But again, the Tennessee-Kentucky border stays a little bit drier, but the mountain counties stay a little bit wetter. All right, Friday high temperatures will be in the low to mid 80s. Heat index values back in the upper 80s to near 90. So again, we still have that humidity, so that doesn't change. Here's the upper level flow pattern. Big trough digging its way into Texas. That's allowing that moisture to feed its way on through, but it's shifted further south from what we were dealing with and talking about yesterday. And so that's why it's going to shut down the rain chances. Plus, we've got a frontal boundary moving its way through. That's going to help to bring in some drier air. You can see how the winds will start to shift, and then we'll get a northwesterly flow pattern as we get into our Sunday, Monday time frame. And those rain chances will ramp back up next week as well. So elevated rain chances today, but that's mostly this morning. Then those rain chances come down throughout the day. We'll likely stay on the drier side Friday, Saturday, and then we'll see increasing or elevated rain chances Sunday, Monday, into Tuesday of next week. This tells the story. So through Saturday, notice that we're not talking about a lot of rain here locally, even down across parts of Alabama, the Tennessee Valley, and points further to the north. But we go into your Sunday, Monday time frame, and now here comes more rain. And then we go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it's going to pile up across the Appalachian region once again. So we are looking at elevated rain chances as we get into next week. As I mentioned, we don't take a big dip in those dew point numbers. So while the mid-levels dry out thanks to the cold front, the surface still stays muggy with dew points in the 70s. And so that's going to give our high temperatures, which are gradually warming into the weekend, back closer to those seasonal averages. Heat index values are going to be pushing back into the 90s. So it is going to be a little bit of a hotter feeling to the air, thanks to air temperatures come up and dew points staying on the elevated side as we get into the weekend and next week. And the Climate Prediction Center is still predicting above average temperatures all the way through the first week of August. So as the weather changes every single day, make sure that you stay in the know with the East Tennessee Weather app. It's a free download from the App Store. Just go to your App Store and search East TN Weather, all one word. It's everything you need to know for weather right here in East Tennessee. All right, we're almost to the weekend. Have a great Thursday. Your next weather update's coming up today at noon. We'll see you then.